Dark already guaranteed at least top 4 in this 1v1 tournament. Obviously, there is the paper medal, which is 4th place, which means you get nothing. But regardless, like the fact that you made it all the way to this spot in top 4 is pretty crazy to see. I'm very curious to see how this is going to work out, because I believe the Doctor pick was Dark's pick. It was not Ivn's pick, but I think Ivn leaving it open, I think he's okay with it. Probably just wanted to get rid of Mastermind for sure. And maybe he doesn't feel super confident with the Wraith right now, even though that's a set that I feel like we've seen him compete in before. But regardless, we are going to keep powering through here. This is going to be looking to be one of those chases that we'd like to see. No use of the power to try to guess on where Ivn is, so it's going to get the free finesse life back into Shack. And now the power potentially coming out right here. No, just gonna get Shack Pallet for free. I feel like we're not really seeing that power being used to its full potential from Dark.
Yeah, Ivn here circling around this little pallet, getting the shock right now, but he has enough distance and enough momentum to make it over towards this pallet. Not able to drop it though. Very good shock there from Dark. Perfect timing. Denies another pallet from Ivn right after that. So he's really doing a good job for himself. That's going to be the injury right here, roundabout approaching the 1 minute mark. Good start for Dark. Can really respect that here. Was with a pretty good shocks able to put his opponent under some pressure. Now over towards this filler pallet, and once it's dropped, it can actually be pretty tricky, and it seems like Dark realizes that as well and doesn't want to give it with the pallet break. But unfortunately the miss is going to cost Dark a lot here. Now Ivn has distance, now the bloodlust is gone. SSB, that is punishing for Dark.
Yeah, definitely very punishing for sure. This window's not very good to play around, especially if you get the medium vault right there, gets to close some distance out right here. Just waiting, that was unfortunate right there. Not actually maybe looking to try to vault that window and go to the pallet, but unfortunately not able to actually make it through. And that was a pretty good time regardless. Gonna be 1 minute and 49 seconds, so that was pretty good so far. And then something to note, shout outs to the staff in the background giving us updates on stuff. So obviously, just to go back to reiterate, you had to qualify through this through playing in the ladder, right? Dark being rank number 5 in the ladder, and if I'm not mistaken, and then obviously Ivn, Pedro, and Rocket all. I'm pretty sure Ivn and Pedro were like the top 2 in the ladder, if I'm not mistaken, at that point when they were selecting everyone. Rocket was probably up there as well. So this is pretty good right now for Dark. Obviously, we're sleeping on him a little bit, and then has been backing it up non-stop here. But gonna have to put up a pretty good time right now against Ivn. 149, not the end of the world. I mean, we've seen 2 minute plus Doctor chases too, so this is definitely doable.
Absolutely, yeah. Quick check here for Dark, as we pointed out, not the worst time to beat. You can definitely make that happen, but against Rocket it might be a little bit tricky here. 151 would be needed in order to make it clear. Keep in mind, everyone, if the difference is just 1 second, then we are going to replay it and consider this being a tie. Dropping the crane pallet early, trying to get the distance. We hear the pallet break behind Dark, so you have a little bit of advantage here, and the time is going to tick in your advantage. 30 seconds have passed now. Wonderful shock here, denying the filler pallet. Will Dark be able to make it towards the Shack? The answer is no. And now obviously, are you able to dodge the shock that is coming in? Not as well. That's going to be the injury, and we are not on halftime yet. Only 45 seconds until the first injury, so a little bit of a tricky run ahead of Dark here, who now has no room for a mistake anymore. Beautiful shock once again, and when you're getting shocked like that, you really want to try holding W into the next tile. But now Dark here in a difficult position, needs to win these tricky mind games, does get it off though into the life. 1 minute 15 at the moment, so he needs to win a few more difficult mind games here, but it's not impossible.
Not impossible at all, for sure. This is looking very, very close. Like this, we are approaching at least tying the time, right? And obviously, got to win by 2. So, but at this point, I think that might be enough to get the down, and that is gonna be the down. And I feel like we're probably around like 10 seconds too short, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, just about. It's gonna be 1:36. So a little bit unlucky right there for Dark. I mean, had a really good chase, but Ivn able to just clutch up a little bit, taking that first killer.
3 fillers, 3 minutes. Seems like Ivn's philosophy coming out strong here. So, yeah, Ivn once again in the advantage. Has taken that pretty often in the tournament so far throughout the bracket. Was able to win the first set to put himself in a good position. Has won quite a lot of his matches clean. 2 times 2-0, and the one where he lost, where he won only 2-1, if you want. So, still had a significant difference in the time. So, when Ivn is taking set number 1, then we could argue then he's usually also in the momentum to take number 2. And with this killer, the Pih, we are definitely going to see that. I think this is Ivn cannot lose the Pig. He would lose his entire name with it.
No, 100%. I mean, when you lose as Pih, and you're Ivn, like this is that's like not according to plan, if I'm pretty sure. So gonna have to definitely clutch up right here in order to make this happen. But man, this is gonna be kind of crazy. I feel like this might have been a little bit of a fumble, allowing Ivn to pick the Pih. But gonna get started right here already with the first chase. And I mean, you're gonna have to put up a pretty crazy time. I think like 3 minutes, like against the Pih, that might be the key right here.
And off we go, ladies and gentlemen. Dark starting on the survivor side. The dash mind game, very optimistic here. Not going to find the target. Now Dark is going to make it back towards the shack and does read that Ivn would take the outside for the mind game, so he's just going to fake the window vault. Very well done. Able to have another circle now, and you do not need to worry about any shocks or something like this, so you can just now... Oh, beautiful by Dark here. Very well done. Last second change, and then not taking the vault. Really, really beautiful to see that. Only dropping the shack pallet now when we are getting closer and closer towards that 1 minute mark. Super great start for Dark here, really playing this well, calm and collected, doesn't seem to be nervous at all in this bronze match here. This is what we love to see, SSB.
100%. I mean, after going down kind of close, like 10 seconds isn't that, that far off. Sometimes it's really easy to come in discouraged, but he has a pretty good setup here. Has the life and still has the finesse as well. That using the medium vault right there, still getting the speed boost off the light. This is scary though. Unfortunately, gonna just get hit with the rush regardless, and that's gonna be getting rid of the finesse now. So now you have no perks. It's just straight fundamentals right now if you want to prolong this chase. A little bit unfortunate right there from Dark, but Ivn looking to close the distance and then close the game. Is this a mind game? Goes around the rock. It's impossible to see where it is. And unfortunately, Dark DCing before Ivn could put the trap on him. Unlucky. You hate to see it.
No, that is unfortunate, but Dark can be proud of himself. I feel like towards the 2 minute mark, that is longer than some other Pig runs that we have seen throughout the tournament. So that is definitely something that you can feel good about. If it's enough though to win bronze in this 1v1 event, that is going to be the question, because Ivn and the Pig are pretty good friends. And I feel like telling Ivn you basically win with 2 minutes, that is a yeah, can be pretty tricky, right? I feel like Ivn should definitely take that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you know, if you're an Ivn fan, you got to be thinking W right here. 2-minute chase. That's something that Ivn has very, very, lots of it, can feel very comfortable going into this. But man, that was a crazy game that was a crazy mind game to go for right there with the M2. So very risky from Ivn, obviously, but still enough. I mean, in that situation, you have like no time to react, especially on ping as well. So that can make it a lot scarier to deal with. So we're gonna get started right here pretty much soon. We're just waiting for Ivn to get in right here, and I think we're waiting, and we're about to get started right underway pretty shortly here. And there we go. 2 minutes essentially is all Ivn really needs in order to cement himself the 3rd place finish here in the DBDLeague 1v1 tournament. So gonna have to be going with the finesse potentially, but you see the cutoff right there from Dxrk. I think that kind of mind game can be very risky, but I think you have to go for those whenever you do have a win con that you're trying to get a cheeky hit to start off the win con right here, or to at least beat the win con. So unfortunately not able to get anything. A little bit of a swing and a miss right there. No one home for it though. Very, very unlucky.
Little bit of nerves that we are seeing here now, and Ivn living on the headquarter of behavior. They're not taking the injury. More than 40 seconds for himself here. Really good stun, really good start. Looking really strong, running towards the bronze, ladies and gentlemen. Another minute has to be done by Ivn. Back to the Shack. Shack bullet still available, should be enough here. Does get it off. No risk being taken, and just taking the distance over towards the fun bus here, dropping that early as well. You can see very smart play for the win condition here. A slow vault right after it. You do have the fun bus for yourself here. You have the good spawn. That's going to be just a lot of time that is being wasted here. Feeling bad for Dxrk a little bit that he has to circle around the fun bus here. But Ivn on the final meters towards bronze in the DBDL top 32 ladder tournament, and nice movement here as well, making Dxrk believe that you would go for the double back there. Not going to be successful with the risky play now, and that is understandable as well, right? Because Dxrk can try something risky now with the dash attack. If it doesn't work, Ivn wins anyway. And if it's working, maybe you find the miracle that you really need. But that is the big congratulations to Ivn here. 3rd among the top 32, waiting there for the hit. But it is what it is. Ivn is taking the 3rd place in the top 32 ladder tournament. What an achievement.